The Viking Age, from 793 to 1066 AD, marked a period of expansion and exploration by the Norse people. Originating from Scandinavia, these skilled seafarers were fierce warriors, shrewd traders, and intrepid explorers. Their longboats allowed them to traverse vast distances, raiding coastal settlements and establishing trade routes. Driven by overpopulation, land scarcity, and adventure, the Vikings left an indelible mark on the world. Their legacy is one of conquest and cultural exchange, shaping the history of many nations. The Vikings were a collection of independent chiefdoms and kingdoms. Their society was deeply rooted in Norse mythology, emphasizing honor, courage, and loyalty. While often seen as brutal raiders, the Vikings were also skilled craftsmen, farmers, and merchants. They established complex social structures and legal systems in their homelands and the territories they settled. Their craftsmanship is evident in the intricate designs of their ships, weapons, and jewelry. Master shipbuilders, their longships navigated both rivers and open seas. Their mastery of navigation enabled them to venture far beyond their Scandinavian homelands. The Vikings' impact on European history is profound, influencing languages and cultures. Iceland, a volcanic island in the North Atlantic, became a haven for Norse settlers fleeing political unrest and land scarcity in Norway. Beginning in the late 9th century, Vikings, led by figures like Ingolfur Arnarsson, established the first permanent settlements on the island. They brought with them their families, livestock, and Norse traditions, transforming the uninhabited landscape into a thriving society. The Icelandic sagas, written centuries later, provide a rich account of these early settlers and their struggles to establish a new life in this challenging environment.
Icelandic society developed a unique political and social structure based on a system of chiefdoms and assemblies. The Alþingi, considered one of the oldest parliamentary institutions in the world, served as a legislative and judicial body, bringing together representatives from different regions of the island. The Norse settlers brought their language, culture, and religious beliefs to Iceland, shaping the island's identity for centuries to come. Old Norse, the language spoken by the Vikings, evolved into Icelandic, a language that has remarkably preserved its ancient roots. The conversion of Iceland to Christianity in the year 1000 marked a significant turning point, but Norse traditions and mythology continue to influence Icelandic culture.
Greenland, a vast island covered largely by ice, presented a challenging environment for Norse colonization. Led by Eric the Red, the Vikings established settlements in Greenland in the late 10th century. They established two main settlements, focusing on farming and livestock rearing. The Greenland colonies thrived for several centuries, demonstrating the Vikings' adaptability and resilience. The Norse Greenlanders faced numerous challenges, including a harsh climate and isolation. Despite their initial success, the Greenland colonies eventually declined by the 15th century. Factors like climate change, declining trade, and conflicts with the Inuit contributed to their demise. Section 4, Vinland, the Saga of North America. The Vikings, led by Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, briefly explored and attempted to settle the coast of North America, a land they called Vinland.
Around the year 1000, I sailed west from Greenland, discovering new lands including Helluland, likely Baffin Island, Markland, likely Labrador, and Vinland, likely Newfoundland. We established a small settlement at Lance or Meadows, providing evidence of the first European presence in North America.
The sagas tell of Vinland's abundant resources, including timber and grapes, which attracted the Vikings to this new land.
Conflicts with the indigenous people, whom we called Skraelings, and the challenges of establishing a permanent settlement in a distant land led to the abandonment of Vinland after a few years. The Lance or Meadows site provides tangible evidence of this early European presence in the New World.
Section 5. Viking trade routes, connecting East and West. The Vikings established extensive trade routes that spanned from the Middle East to North America. Their longships allowed them to navigate rivers and seas, connecting distant lands and facilitating the exchange of goods and ideas.
To the east, we traded with the Byzantine Empire and the Abbasid Caliphate, bringing back silks, spices, and other luxury goods. To the west, we traded with Iceland, Greenland, and briefly with Vinland, exchanging timber, furs, and walrus ivory.
The Vikings' trade routes played a significant role in the economic and cultural development of Europe. They established trading posts and towns along their routes, such as Hedeby and Birka, which became important centers of commerce.
Our trade network facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas between different regions of Europe, contributing to the growth of towns and the development of new markets. The Vikings' trade network served as a conduit for cultural exchange, connecting different parts of the world and contributing to a shared cultural heritage.
Section 6. Viking ships, masters of the sea. The Viking longships were a marvel of shipbuilding technology, perfectly adapted for both raiding and exploration. Their shallow draft allowed them to navigate rivers and coastal waters, while their sturdy construction and flexible hulls enabled them to withstand the rigors of the open ocean. The longships were propelled by both oars and sails, providing speed and maneuverability. These ships were instrumental in the Vikings' expansion and success as seafarers. The design and construction of Viking longships were based on centuries of maritime experience. The ships were built using clinker construction, a technique that involved overlapping planks of wood to create a strong and flexible hull. The use of iron rivets and nails further strengthened the ship's structure. The Vikings' navigational skills enabled them to reach distant lands, including Iceland, Greenland, and North America. Their mastery of the sea made them the most accomplished seafarers of their time. Section 7. Cultural impacts of the Viking Age. The Viking Age had a profound impact on the cultures and societies of Europe and beyond. Their raids and conquests brought them into contact with various cultures, leading to both conflict and cultural exchange.
Our influence can be seen in language, art, religion, and political systems. Our impact on European history is undeniable, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to fascinate and inspire.
The Vikings' language, Old Norse, influenced the development of several European languages, including English, French, and Russian. Many place names and words in these languages have Norse origins, reflecting the Vikings' presence and influence.
Our language also contributed to the development of Icelandic, which has remarkably preserved its ancient roots. The Vikings' religious beliefs, initially based on Norse mythology, gradually transitioned to Christianity through contact with Christian communities.